Maybe, perhaps. What's the matter, medicine man?
That's all section hand. I've had you. Strip your blouse. What are the rules gonna be, Colonel?
Just make up your own. Oh.
William Holden, 10 iconic films. One of my all-time favourite actors, William Holden was able to span many genres of film.
Buddy. It takes a little trading with the enemy to get me some food or a better mattress. It's okay.
An Oscar-winning leading man who worked with some of Hollywood's finest actors and directors.
Like a gentleman, how to die by the rules, when the only important thing is how to live like a human being.
I thought we would take a look at just some of the iconic movies he made over a long career until his sad death.
You side with a man, you stay with him, and if you can't do that, you're like some animal. You're finished.
Let me know what you think in the comments. If you enjoy this video, hit the notification button to get my new videos. If you want to check out my many other videos, head over to my channel. The link is in the description. Let's get into it. Sunset Boulevard, 1950. Director, Billy Wilder. Holden took the lead of Billy Wilder's noir film after Montgomery Clift dropped out shortly before filming. His early roles saw him stuck in a second-tier rut. His fortunes changed when audiences saw him in Norma Desmond's Swimming Pool. Gone was the golden boy, replaced with the sardonic cynic, tasked with polishing the comeback vehicle for Gloria Swanson's Old Hollywood shut-in. Billy Wilder's best film, and Holden's first Oscar nomination.
Well, we should have lived happily ever after, like they do in the movies. But the little ones that you never hear of, like Betty and me, a strange woman who left her mark on all of us, who crossed her path. Has it ever occurred to you that I may have a life of my own, that there may be some girl that I'm crazy about?
Who? Some car hop or dress extra?
What I'm trying to say is that I'm all wrong for you. You want a Valentino, somebody with polo ponies, a big shot.
What you're trying to say is you don't want me to love you. Say it.
Rising to the heights, William Holden creates a startling portrayal.
Where are you? What's this all about?
Why don't you come out and see for yourself? The address is 10,086.
Film that every critic says is a giant among motion pictures.
Stalag 17, 1953. Director, Billy Wilder. Holden's second of 4 collaborations with Wilder, and his second Oscar nomination, this time earning him the Golden Statue. A prisoner of war drama sees Holden accused by his fellow prisoners of being a German stooge. Stalag 17 played well to the newfound strengths of its lead. Otto Preminger serves as the villain, but Wilder's cynicism targets the microcosm of the barracks, and Holden's ruthless capitalist as the prisoner's easiest scapegoat.
Trading with the enemy to get me some food or a better mattress. It's okay by 7.
Maybe there's somebody in our barracks tipping him off, like one of us.
What are you looking at me for?
Executive Suite, 1954. Director, Robert Wise. The all-star cast are squabbling over who's going to take charge of the furniture company, following its president dropping dead in the opening scene. Holden is the design specialist, with no corporate experience, but headstrong ideas. Afforded a closing speech, in the first screenplay by the great Ernest Lehman, that exposes the capitalist degeneracy of the competition.
Anyone, even you, I think it'll make you into someone I can't go on.
What did I ever get out of it but loneliness and sudden death? What did I ever get out of them but the sight of their backs?
Bullard gave you everything you have. There wouldn't be any stock if it hadn't been for him. You wouldn't be here at all.
I gave him 10 years of my life and all my love. Isn't that enough?
The Bridge on the River Kwai, 1957. Director, David Lean. Holden back in a POW camp for arguably his most well-known performance as Commander Shears of the US Navy. The strange bird, in isolation for too long and cut off from his unit. He's the outsider to Alec Guinness's buttoned-up British officer, trying his best to remain in sickbay, having swapped his uniform for a dead superior ahead of capture, in a bid for better treatment. After escaping, he's tasked with returning to blow up the Japanese supply line. Against his better judgment, Shears is thereby recast. However, suddenly, as the reluctant hero of David Lean's World War II epic.
Kill him, Joyce!
The Horse Soldiers, 1959. Director, John Ford. The Horse Soldiers was the only film made by the great John Ford to be set during the American Civil War, after discounting his section of How the West Was Won. Holden plays the Doctor, who's pitted against conservative Yankee Colonel John Marlowe, John Wayne, who, having lost his wife at the hands of a doctor, Marlowe takes his pain out on Holden. The stage is set for a showdown, turning into mutually earned respect. Beautifully shot by The Searchers' William Clothier. The Horse Soldiers explores the opposing value systems without taking a side, displayed when Holden throws his drink at the Duke. Ford lets fists do the talking. OK, section hand, strip your blouse.
They rode, hell-bent for glory.
The Wild Bunch, 1969. Director, Sam Peckinpah. Sam Peckinpah's violent western was a comeback opportunity for Holden, following a struggle with alcoholism, also marking a new phase in his career, putting the dependency of his romantic leads in the rearview mirror for something more complex. The film's final descent into hell was etched in the face of Holden's Pike from the start, his nihilistic resolution there in his first line, "If they move, kill 'em." The Wild Bunch was iconic in the interrogation of screen violence, but Peckinpah and Holden found tenderness and tragedy in the Bunch's lost innocence. A career peak for Holden and Peckinpah.
Mike had been a gentleman of principle. Had a principle or two.
We're not getting rid of anybody. We're gonna stick together just like it used to be. When you side with a man, you stay with him, and if you can't do that, you're like some animal. You're finished.
He always argued.
Hold it! Relax, it's just some champagne we ordered.
Had been trying for years. Sometimes he almost worked up to...
Why don't you meet my fiancée?
Breezy, 1973. Director, Clint Eastwood. It's a travesty that Breezy is probably the least known film in Clint Eastwood's body of directorial work, given that it's one of his very finest films. It also contains one of Holden's greatest performances as the aging Lothario, bored and alone in the California hills, who begins a hesitant relationship with an itinerant hippie, Kay Lenz, astonishing. More than half his age, it's less than May to December Hollywood fantasy, than an affectionate interrogation of generational values, touched by a heartfelt romanticism. Holden's manifestation of the tensions between laissez-faire attitude, societal expectations, and suppressed fear and desire is nothing short of extraordinary, even as he faces stiff competition from scene-stealing mute Sir Love-A-Lot.
Yes, my niece.
Would you mind very much if I love you? I just would like to be able to say the words once in a while. If I don't hold you soon or touch you, I think I'm gonna die.
Hello, Frank. God, you're young.
Okay. I can't cope with it. I cannot cope with any of it.
Maybe we'll make each other laugh, and maybe we will cry.
Network, 1976. Director, Sidney Lumet. Holden scores his third and final Oscar nomination for Sidney Lumet's heavy-handed satire of the television business, playing the cast-out newsreader and conscience to Faye Dunaway's vampiric executive. with whom he's having an affair. Some of Holden's best scenes centre on him just listening, while his castmates monologue their way towards gold. His confessional confrontation with wife, Beatrice Straight, Oscar, check, is tremendous, but you can bet his Oscar night clip came from his character assassination of Dunaway, as he walks out on the Arctic desolation of their affair. Your television incarnate, Diana, indifferent, suffering, insensitive to joy. All of life is reduced to the common rubble of banality. War, murder, death, all the same to you as bottles of beer. Your madness, Diana, virulent madness, and everything you touch dies with you. Fedora, 1978. Director, Billy Wilder. Holden reteams with Billy Wilder following 1954's Sabrina for their fourth and final collaboration, a magnificent exorcism of Sunset Boulevard. Fedora isn't a sequel, and Holden isn't Joe Gills, as much as an answer, both thematically and stylistically, to a new Hollywood overrun by those directors with beards. Ironically, Fedora's out there plot often feels like it could be something the bearded Brian De Palma would have concocted if his altruistic fetishism had inclined to Wilder over Hitchcock. Holden is the down-on-his-luck producer, trying to lure megastar Fedora out of retirement with his adaptation of Anna Karenina. Endlessly reflective and fantastically weird, it's a late masterpiece from Wilder, his penultimate film, and a late great showcase for Holden. S.O.B. 1981. Director, Blake Edwards. For what would prove to be his final film, Holden took a wonderful supporting role for Blake Edwards, with whom he had previously worked on 1971's Mild Bunch Ota, Wild Rovers, a wickedly funny showbiz satire that charts a filmmaker's attempt to salvage his mega flop by reshooting it as softcore erotica. S.O.B. is perhaps most famous for casting Edwards' wife as erstwhile Mary Poppins, Julie Andrews as the actress forced to bear all in the name of commerce. As in Executive Suite, Holden plays the sole voice of reason amid the madcap hysteria, a life raft of weary dignity in an ocean of self-serving fools. Thank you for your time today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think in the comments. I appreciate likes and subscribers. Hit the notification bell to get my new videos. Take a look at my channel. The link is in the description. Bye for now. See you again soon.
Interesting facts about famous people.